forward to this computer. Somebody remind me to upload this to YouTube tonight after we're done. All right, we're gonna get into the Asana overview. Guys, I know there's other customer relations bases. There's different databases that you can use to organize your customers. I personally used Excel and scratches of paper for the first 3.5 years of my life. I have 3 or 4 different Excel documents I'm like shifting through and never quite figured out how to really get it organized. I always put names down, but didn't have a method to keep them organized. And I'm finally figuring it out, and it's creating so much productivity in my business. And part of it's because I'm making significant numbers of reach outs right now. And when you're making significant numbers of reach outs and you're getting replies, you need to be able to organize them. And so what I'm going to share with you guys tonight, I'm not sharing with you the basics of how to set up an Asana account, because there's a girl with Herb Cepeda's team who did that. And I actually posted that video as a prerequisite for the call tonight. So if you haven't watched that, your head may spin a little bit, and that's okay. I want you to continue. Go back and watch that video, and it'll show you how to set up an initial account. What I learned, I tried to do it on my phone, and I had a really hard time setting up my organization. And when I put my phone down and just pulled out my computer and dedicated some time to it, it was much more efficient and worked a whole lot better than trying to set it up on my phone. Now, once I got all my groups and columns created, I work off my phone all the time, wherever I am. But creating it worked best on my computer. So hopefully that makes sense. So my goal tonight is to actually share with you guys how I am taking between 200 and 300 conversations off of LinkedIn, along with about 100 to 200 other people. Yeah, that's been your issue too, Jennifer, right? But the other 100 to 200 people I'm in connection and conversations with, whether it's Facebook or the gym or the church or the school, how am I organizing all these people so that I can be streamlined? And I'm still working on it. I'm going to take you guys through the continuum with Asana from the moment I think of a human being and wish them into my organization. Where do I put them in Asana? And then I'm going to show you how I move them along the continuum and how it creates efficiencies so that when all of a sudden there is, for instance, a promo, where's your list? Who are you going to reach out to be efficient and have reach outs? If you've got 15 minutes and you need to find the right group to speak to. For instance, maybe there's a Super Saturday in your area. Maybe all of a sudden you found out there's something going on locally. How is your group organized so that you can laser in on people who are local prospects to invite them, right? So I've gotten really organized with that so that when something pops up, I have a prospect list that I can go to and be really efficient at firing off whatever information it is. So let me share my screen. And I'm going to pull up Asana now. Okay, these are people I've already enrolled. We'll go back to, this is where my people go after they're enrolled. We'll talk about that in a minute. So I have 2 different groups. One is customers and one is prospects and connections. Now, for those of us who are in like massive recruitment mode, it's also important that we know where our newly enrolled are in their journey. And I'll come back to this because this is still a work in progress. I'm going to go to my prospect list. So I have a couple of different categories of prospects, and your categories may not look like mine, but I hope that what I share with you tonight sparks some thought as to how you want to organize yours based on how you're interacting with your prospects. So the first category I have over here to the left is just prospects that come to my mind. Like while I am driving down the interstate or sitting in carpool, and I'm like this guy, Ryan Hagan, he just popped up while I was sitting in carpool line in my Facebook feed. And I'm like, you know what? That guy was my CrossFit coach, and he's left and he's moved out to LA. I have no idea what he's doing now. But I need to reach out to him. I didn't have time to think about what I was going to say or what I was going to do to reach out to him. But in that moment, I was able to pull up my Asana app in my phone and in 2 seconds put his name down and plop him into that column. So I at least got him out of this brain and put him into my periphery brain so that he will never be lost. He is now recorded so that, for instance, before I head to California, I may say to myself, what prospects do I have that are out in that area? This would be a great reason to reach out to them, right? If I didn't have my prospects and all these people I know down and recorded, I wouldn't be able to do that. Believe me, before I head out to California with Christine, I'm going to be looking through all of my prospects and seeing who's out in that area and giving me a reason to connect with him. Now, but my point about this column over here is this is as cold as it gets. I shouldn't say, well, there's two different ways you can define cold. One, cold being you don't know them at all, but the other way I categorize cold is that I haven't had a single conversation with these people on the left about Isagenix. No single touches, but they're in my periphery that they would be great at this, right? So I'm sure this would be an example of your top 100, right? When you're creating a list of 100, this is your 100, okay? Now, I actually have my prospects split into two, and that's just because I have so many people in LinkedIn as well. And I wanted to be able to separate my brain to like professionals that I've worked with in the past or in my professional network versus just personal people in my everyday life. You don't have to do this. This is just because I've got so many that I needed a way to split it up, okay? Again, these LinkedIn prospects are as cold as they get. We've had not a single conversation about Isagenix. I was probably sitting in the grocery line. I was in a conversation with someone, and it dawned on me, hey, I should talk to this person about Isagenix. So they're here. This is my cold, what I call cold market, even though I know them, they're cold because I haven't even had a conversation with them yet. This is why I laugh when people say, I've run out of people. There's no way you've run out of people. You just haven't exercised your thought process long enough for who all you know, okay? Now we're going to move over to my lukewarm market, okay? So now I have another column over here, and I don't even have one for Facebook because I've kind of aborted using Facebook altogether because LinkedIn's been so, what's the word I want to say? Copious in leads for me that I'm just working on LinkedIn. You could use this for Instagram. You could use this for Facebook. You could use this for Twitter. You could use it for whatever platform you have. But what I've done is I've created a column for where anyone makes a comment or likes a post that I put in LinkedIn about residual income, financial freedom, lifestyle, anything relevant to Isagenix. If they've commented or liked, I'm going back and I'm tracing that. So I am putting them in this column over here because now I know that they have some level of interest. And what you'll see is that with many of these, I've reached out to them. I thanked them for a like or a comment. So Mahesh Tawny, if you click on this and you look in my notes, so here we go. Asked him, so I followed up. Okay, so let me look at my notes. So I obviously asked him if he wanted to take a look at the video. And I asked him to join Jimmy's call. He responded to me and said that he couldn't make Jimmy's call, but he wants to connect on Friday. See, I've totally missed this guy. I haven't followed up with him. So here's the catch. I reminded myself on January 31st. So if you look at my columns down here, see the visual of all the red? So with each card that I have for each person, I have an action item, a date to follow up with. So everything in red means I needed to follow up with them. And I've been so busy right now with hotter prospects that I'll take you to in a minute that I just haven't had time to come back to these people. So clearly, like for instance, Mahesh said he was interested, but he couldn't watch the call. And then he said he wanted to connect, but we haven't connected. Well, meanwhile, I've been connecting with other people and I've been getting them on the phone and I've been enrolling them. So I just haven't had time to come back to this guy, and that's okay. I'll come back to him this week. I actually have some plans this week to dig through all of this. Yours doesn't have to look this busy. I have been a machine on LinkedIn lately. Some of you guys know I locked myself in the Grove Park Inn for like 4 days, and this is like all I did. So Jake was laughing a minute ago because like the past couple of weeks have been huge in my business. And he's like, maybe we just need to send you to Grove Park like every quarter. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a plan. Okay, so this is what I would call like my warm market. So here's what happens. I'm going to skip over the Charlotte prospects for a second. But let's say Mahesh and I get on the phone and he says that he's interested in learning more. Although Mahesh actually should already, I'm going to go ahead and move him over here because he's already said he wants to connect and he wants to learn more. So I should have moved him over here to the interested column, okay? Because just because somebody liked or commented over here, they haven't taken the next step to actually say they want to learn more, okay? Where I want to spend the majority of my time following up, I'll come back to Charlotte prospects in a minute, is where people are interested. So they haven't just liked, they haven't just commented, but they actually responded and said, yeah, I would like to learn more about what you're doing. Yes, I would like to connect. Does that make sense? So those people, so this is like, you know, whoops. So the people who liked or commented, you could say are like, you're lukewarm. And then the people who said they're interested are like getting warmer, right? And then they say, sure, I would watch your video. Please send it to me. Now I've sent them something, okay? Now when I send them something, they fall into a pretty hot bucket for me. Info sent, right? Again, I want you guys to remember that with all of these prospects, you can put a date to follow up with, and you can get an email that reminds you to follow up with these people. Because so many people would slip through the cracks if I didn't do this. Half of my enrollments over the past couple of weeks would have slipped through the cracks. Because half of my enrollments, when I follow up with them, because they haven't responded after saying they were going to look at the video, they just got busy. They don't know what they're missing yet. They have no idea. But they appreciate that I've followed up. I will tell you, I've even found that making a power post in LinkedIn, all of a sudden, I'll get a response from someone who hasn't responded in 2 weeks. And they're like, I'm so sorry I haven't gotten back to you. And so that's why it's important to stay consistent in your posting, okay? So for instance, so Victoria, or let's look at Tracy. So Tracy said she's very interested. And I try to do this up front because if you really, really start networking, this can get completely out of hand. And so what I started doing is that people who didn't just say, yeah, I'll take a look, but they make a couple of comments about how interested they are and how they're looking forward to connecting. In their name, I try to put something in bold so that when I go to kind of my hot list here, I can sort by like who's really, really interested. So let's say I've got 15 minutes tomorrow and I want to focus on people who are really hot, meaning like really interested. I can scroll through this. See, this guy reached out to me. So if I've got 15 minutes, I'm going to follow up with the guy who reached out to me, not the guy I was chasing down. So hopefully that's making sense. So see this guy here, Michael, he was very interested. So this way I can scroll through and find the people. That's where I might start. And she's super interested. So, so tomorrow morning, that might be the first thing I do. So like for instance, with Victoria, I can click on her. And I requested this, so you can see my notes, right? So my first message to her, I created this task 20 days ago. So January 21st. So 20 days ago, I requested to connect with her. She liked my corporate dropout post and said she wanted to be a corporate dropout too. Okay. I followed up to see what she thought about the video. So this was like nearly a month later, I'm getting back to her. And I find out she's a pharmacist and she wants to get out. She responded to me after 20 days. I sent her a message to see what she thought. And she responded that she was really excited in connecting with me. I'm remembering it now. And that she's a pharmacist and she totally wants to get out. And she's going to read the video this weekend. So I gave myself a reminder. I don't want to annoy the crap out of her. I could follow up with her tomorrow since it's Monday morning and say, hey, you said you were going to watch that video, but I want to be cool about it. These people, I don't want to be hunting them down. I want to be, this is attraction marketing. Like, I've got something really good, and if you want to be a part of it, great, but I'm not going to chase you down. I've got 15 other people I can talk to. So what I've done is I've given myself a tickler to reach out to her on the 18th. So I don't know when that is, like a week or two, a week. So I'm playing this professional game with people. I'm not hunting them down. I'm not desperately chasing them. But the reality is I would not be following up with 80% of these people if I did not have some level of organization to it, okay? I wouldn't have enrolled half the people that I have if I didn't have some level of organization. Okay, so that's information sent. I'll go back to Charlotte for just a second. I highly suggest for all of your prospects who are within driving distance of where you live, I would separate them out in your prospect list. And the reason is because occasionally you're going to have things. Hopefully you're going to have sip and samples. Maybe there's going to be an event close enough to you that you're going to go to, like a Super Saturday. And you want a quick reference point for invites, right? So like, we're going to be having overviews in Charlotte every Thursday night. And so this is my go-to list as I meet people in the area to plop them in here, not all the way over here with everyone in the world that I know, but rather everyone in Charlotte that I know. The Cepeda event is going to be happening in March. You better bet I'm coming to this column, right? I should probably do the same thing with my team. On my other group is put all my Charlotte team on a column so that when we're doing things, I know I'm organized about firing that out. Okay. All right. Now, so info sent. So when, and then I have an info sent for Charlotte prospects too. I'm not sure why I did that. That's, okay, now having scheduled, I should have followed up with Terry. He was supposed to get an ultimate pack this weekend. Okay, that's okay. Tamara, so here's a good one. Tamara and I had a scheduled call this past week, and Tamara enrolled. So now I'm gonna take this card and I'm gonna pull her over to enrolled. Oh, there's Tamara. Okay, see? I thought I was organized and I wasn't. I've got two of her here. But so I have a column over here for people that I've enrolled. So the goal is to land you have a continuum. You're moving people across your continuum. And by the end of it, your goal is to figure out, nah, I'm not interested, or enrolled, right? I'm okay with no. I get a lot of no's. It helps me clean up my list. I just move them over here, okay? Guys, I get no's. Look at all these no's. See that? I get lots of no's, okay? And I've got them all here. For me, it's just not right now. I'm still going to circle back with them at some point, but I don't have time to deal with them now, and I actually really appreciate it. They said no thanks. Oh, Jenny too. Okay, sorry. I had these two people who were supposed to get packs this weekend, and I've just been swamped. Okay, so as people info is sent and you have reminders to follow up with people, for me, the goal is when they say, yes, the video was interesting and I'd like to connect, then I move them over here to scheduled call. I have a scheduled call on Tuesday. I've got to go find her in my phone and move her over to the scheduled call. I think it's Tanya. So hopefully this is making sense to you guys in creating like a visual of where your prospects are in the continuum. And if you've got a really busy week where you're absolutely slammed, but you want to focus you want a power hour with Isogenics, I highly suggest you sit in this area around people who've said they're interested, people that you've sent information to, and people that you need to follow up with, because those people are warm. They've already expressed an interest. Those are the people you want to spend time with if you don't have much time. If you've got more time in the week and you want to expand your network, then go to your colder list and initiate messaging, right? So a portion of my day tomorrow is going to be initiating messaging to people who liked or commented just to see if they take a look. The other portion of my week is going to be reaching out to people who took a look. What did they think? And then for those people who took a look, I'm going to reach out and say, would you like to touch base? And for those who like to touch base, I'm going to schedule a call. If you do this consistently and you can create some rhythm to it and dedicate a little bit of time to each category of customer, and what I mean by that is a little bit of time to each area of decision cycle with your customers, prospects, I guess I should say, you'll create a funnel that Susan always talks about. You create this funnel effect, and you're always closing the deal with some people. You're always connecting with brand new people. You're always asking some people to take a look, and you're always following up with some people to see what they thought. If you don't have it organized, especially when you work full-time on top of this, you're always going to feel like a hot mess. You're always going to feel like a hot mess, and it's going to be everywhere, and it's going to be messy, and you're going to forget people. Like, I feel like I'm more organized than I ever have been, and I forgot about Jenny and Terry, and they were supposed to enroll this weekend, and they're right here in front of my face. But I got so busy on Friday, I've got to figure out, I may create my own column over here that says follow up. Maybe I create a column that says follow up by Sunday for people I've been working on all week, to make that follow up and see where they are. So hopefully this was helpful. I also wanted to show you guys, I also have follow up after connection. These people are uber important. The people that are follow up after connection, think about how much time you have invested in these people. These are the people you don't want to forget about. These are the people that you've connected with. You've sent them information. They've looked at the information. You've gotten on the phone with them. You've invested time with them. Paula White, I spent an hour on the phone with her on the way to Grove Park. She still has not enrolled. The other day, she sent me a message asking about value packs because she was thinking about enrolling a friend to come along with her. Her only objection is cost right now. She wants to get on board. She lives in Phoenix. She used to work for GSK, Louisa. I can't wait to get her on the team. She's got 4 kids. She's amazing. She'll join us in time if I don't forget about her, right? I've spent so much time on her, but I've got so many other prospects that I could totally lose her in the shuffle. Same with Dan Kim. We've been back and forth. He's the guy that left for Madrid this weekend. And, he's decided he's going to give it a go. He told me he was going to give it a go. He still hasn't enrolled. I don't want to lose him in the shuffle because I've spent more time with these people than anyone over here that's just a thought. Right? I don't want to bug the crap out of them, but I certainly don't want to forget to follow up because this is where a lot of my enrollments come from, where I circle back, whether we have a promotion or something just resonates or there's a video or a call, and I just circle back. And like this guy, Miguel, he's a pharmacist. He's married to a dentist. He's got 2 small kids. We've been back and forth. We've been on 2 phone calls. He's researched our comp plan. And he's really interested in doing it. And his message to me the other day was that I just can't give it the effort that I want in recruiting right now. And so I'm going through with him talking about getting a piece of real estate on my team. And like, do you eat? If you eat, you can afford this to get on my team and hold a position. You're clearly very interested and you want to build a team. Get your real estate, accumulate volume, build later, right? So I'm babbling a little bit, but hopefully this is making sense to you guys. And then you can make temporary columns. So like, I never followed up with Mike. I followed up with Mercedes. I had a big group of people who agreed to watch Jimmy Smith. And so that I made sure that out of all my prospects that I followed up with those particular prospects that I invited, I took their cards and moved them all into this category that other week. And then I followed up with all of them. And then once followed up, I either enrolled them or I moved them somewhere, except for these 2. I didn't, because Mercedes never responded and I never followed up with Mike. Actually, I think Mike never responded either. Maybe that's why they're both just still sitting here. So hopefully this makes sense to you guys. Yep. Is somebody asking a question?
Yeah, I wanted to find out. So if somebody says, I'm interested, so you're interested at a convo back and forth, not now, and they're not giving you a date like when to like reach back to them, so it's kind of up in the air.
Yep, I would
Do
probably
you like putting yourself a reminder like a month from now? Like what's your, I guess there's no magic number, but like what's your
So what I've been doing,
approach?
Christine, and I've only been using Asana for a month. But what I've been doing is I follow up within 2 days. And then if they're not ready, I follow up in 2 weeks. And you can do that here. So like, for instance, Miguel said he's just, so Miguel said he does not enough time to recruit at the moment. He believes in the opportunity. So what I'll do with him is, and then I said, I coached him to get a position and eat the food until he's ready, right? He laughed, he sent me some giggles. He didn't say he was gonna enroll. That's not a no, that's just a not right now, right? So what I'm gonna do, since we've been back and forth a number of times, we've been talking for a month, I'll probably leave him alone now for a good month, like maybe 3 or 4 weeks. Like today's the 4th. He's one that I'll probably follow up within a month because I've been back and forth with him a good bit, but I'm not forgetting about him. And if I didn't have this system, I'd forget about him. He'd be long gone and I'd probably never enroll him. But it's going to be a matter of hitting him at the right time in his life. Maybe, that message comes on a day where he's had a really long day or his wife has worked crazy hours and he's open to take a look, So I do the 2-2-2 rule. Follow up in 2 days, follow up in 2 weeks, follow up in 2 months. If they don't enroll in 2 months, and I've done this with a couple of people already, my response is, hey, I don't want to be a nag. So please, feel free. If you're not interested, just tell me and I will take you off my follow-up list. But otherwise, you came to mind because of XYZ. So the promo this week. I haven't had anyone in the past 3 weeks say, yeah, take me off your follow-up list. But I have before. I've gotten lots of, yeah, I guess you can just take me off, But then to me, that's closure. That's great. I want the no's so that I can take them off my list and move them over here. Like I like to clean it up and just focus on people that there's a maybe, right? Now, once they get enrolled, I move them to my customer column. And I'm just getting started on that because I've been spending so much time on the prospect area. But I think for those who are hyper recruiters, I think it's going to be really important to organize them and make sure you're following up. So what I'm going to try to do here is these are my newly enrolled over the past couple of weeks that are interested in the business. And so I have notes on all of them. So for instance, I have actions for Carrie tomorrow. Welcome call booked for Monday. I have a welcome call booked for her tomorrow. I'm going to walk her through the Get page. Dr. Lipsitz, I have something for him tomorrow. Spa follow-up on Monday. Products ordered, need to work on recruitment and promotional materials. This is my peripheral brain. The other thing that'll really help you is when you're talking with your prospects, take notes on them in here so that when you follow up, you can remember things about them and it doesn't run together because things are running together for me. And I was on the phone with 2 different people in a given week that were completely cold market and things started to run together. Don't let that happen because then people feel like you're spamming them. So I love the note section because when you initially talk to somebody, you can put in there their health and wellness goals. You can put in there their financial goals or their pain points. And then when you have a follow-up call with them, you can recall that and they really appreciate that. So once you get them in, this is a column for new enrollments. Once you onboard them, then you can have you given them, so like Sindra and Jennifer last week, I welcomed them. I had individual calls with them and walked them through the first couple of steps of our Get website. I got them acclimated to our Get calls. So this is just a way to hold you accountable to giving good customer service and team service. Now, If you want to get really OCD, you can start mapping out your team, right? You can put in columns for consultants, managers, directors, executives, and you can start thinking about who do I need to, and Louisa gets to move to manager. Hang on a second. Move you over here, Louisa. I've just started filling this out, but how fun is this? Then you can watch your team shift from one step to the next. You can create a manager thread, a messenger thread to coach your team, a director thread, that kind of thing. Okay, so that's pretty much all I have for you guys. Was it helpful, or did it like make your head spin? Who's got questions? Louisa, you're
super helpful.
What's that?
Oh, I said it was super helpful, but I do remember saying I really make sure I don't forget to tell you guys. One of the totally off subject, but this is really going to help us as we're talking to people and they're saying cost is an issue, right? But we're ready to start it and we're to create consultants. So something that I learned over the weekend, what Jeff and Debbie they do is, let's say and they want me to recruit people, right? They're like, hey, who do you know? I'm like, I don't know anybody. They're like, who do you know? I don't know anybody. They go like, oh, dude, like, to a call, and God forbid, who are you going to call? Who are your people, like, ride or die, right? And then you're like, all right, I'll definitely call my mom and my best friend. Okay, great. Are they Facebook? Yes, they are. So what he does is he creates a Facebook thread with himself, newly started person, those two people, okay, that 2 or 3 people that they mentioned. And he asks that person saying, like, you know what, you're going to start this, you're going to stamp you accountable, saying, hey, I just started this journey. I want you guys to keep me accountable. And as one of accountability that I admitted to is to tell you all how I'm doing. If I'm losing weight, I'm going to say it. If I'm like sucking at this, I'm going to tell you. If I don't like the product, I'm going to tell you. Like, what, people are going to have good results, and they will say, like, they'll log back and be like, I lost 2 pounds. This cleanse was awesome. And then now their friends are like, oh, okay, losing weight. Okay, maybe I should give it a try. And that's how they're turning this like prospects into actual enrollment from this like I was like, that's freaking genius. So just something to implement, I would say, like within our team too, as we're trying to like raise our director and manage, all the titles. Maybe we should, like, I'm totally committing doing that, because a lot of times you'll ask people and they're like, I don't know anybody. But hey, creating FOMO within a group of people saying, like, I've lost this weight, I'm feeling amazing, and
so let me ask you this, how
yes.
did they get over the hump of putting their friends or family in a thread and a complete stranger? Like, what was their reasoning for that?
I don't think they put stranger in the thread. It's like who to go to people.
Oh, okay. So they didn't put the person who sponsored them on the thread, just themselves and the people they enrolled.
They did. Yeah. Let's say you enrolled me. So you enrolled me, and I'm like, I don't know anybody, but Tammy and Melva are my go-to people, and I'm gonna get on the threads. Like, guys, I just started this like journey. Please help me accountable for. And one thing I promised my friend Melissa is, like, I have to tell you guys how I'm doing, because make sure like we're having like accountability thing going on.
Freaking
so then every week I'm gonna post, keep me in check, right?
Freaking
and yeah, and I'm gonna be posting like, okay guys, week 3, I'm down, like it was okay. I'll have like challenges, blah, blah, but I lost some weight. I haven't even cleansed yet. I'm kind of nervous about it. And then you as my coach are gonna like log in back, oh my God, that's so awesome. We'll jump on the call, I'll help you with cleanse day. Don't worry about it, we got this. And then week 2, like whatever. So it just kind of like creates this little FOMO between like Tammy and Melva. They're on like this thing watching me, supposed to be my accountability partners, right? And next thing you know, Tammy's like, shit, I want to try this thing out too. I can use some extra energy. Or Melva's like, I can lose weight. Like, why not? And earn some money. Again, like using this threads with their coach to create the FOMO, so people jump on. I'm committing doing this because a lot of people I will bring on board. I'm like, who do you want to bring on board? They're like, I don't know anybody. Let me try the products first, how it goes. Like, all right, try it for 30 days and let's get the combo going like from day one.
Yeah,
So
no, that's incredible. So Melva was asking, she wanted a quick summary because she was a little bit confused. So Melva, what Christine is saying is that when someone gets enrolled, if they're saying that they don't know anybody, you know, when you're talking about creating consultants and accountability buddies, and they're saying they don't know anybody, they're suggesting go find your two like ride or die people. Who are the two people you would call like if disaster happened in your life, and create a group message with them and let them know what you're about to do as far as your health and wellness journey, and that you want them to hold you accountable. So it looks like she's talking to somebody right now. But anyway, I think it's genius. It's absolutely genius. I love it. I'm not sure about having the sponsor in there too. I'd have to think about that a little bit. But I love it. I think it's absolutely genius. I'm going to start implementing it with all my new people that I just enrolled. Let's see how it goes. Who wants to try it? I'm going to try it. I mean, I think it'll be great to help create consultants. Okay. So back to Asana, because I know we're at 9:41. Thank you for sharing, Christine. Questions, comments, thoughts, good, bad, anything in between with Asana? Louisa, I know that you were using Asana. I don't know if you were talking. You're on mute though.
I just thought I'm talking. Yeah, I've been using it since before the Cepeda Express. And I listened to the podcast that the Cepeda team did on it. And I don't remember the young lady who had organized it, but that helped. That started me because I was frustrated getting organized from the get-go, and I had nothing compared to them that you all have, you know?
Well, yeah, well, and I wish I'd had this from the get-go. Well, and I think for me, more than ever, now that I'm using the LinkedIn platform, and I've got 1,200 people in my network right now, and it continues to grow every day. And so if you don't have a method to connecting and following up with these people, it becomes a sloppy mess. But when you create these columns, you create some order. It's actually really kind of fun to move the cards. Like, I can't tell you how fun it is to move somebody from, yeah, I'll watch it, to, yeah, we're going to get on a call. And like the satisfaction of taking that, getting on a call and moving it to the enrolled category, just to kind of see it happen. It's so much fun. Just gives you a sense of satisfaction, but it also gives you a snapshot to look at, you know, when you just got a couple of minutes, who do you focus on? Who do I need to follow up with this week? You know? Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, I just like to pop in. Sorry. I saw somebody in our driveway and I was like, what's going on? Chris, that's a great idea. I just wanted to see the list because I started it. I don't know. I started back in like August, September, and then I picked it back up when you talked about it and we were doing LinkedIn. And I'm just on Trello, but it's the same concept. And I cleaned my columns up because I think I had too many, and then I was putting too many details. But I find it like super quick because I know, like, I was listening as if I hadn't heard before, and it can be overwhelming, like, to be honest. But it's so much easier. And then I think it really helps, like, feel like this is a real business, because I have, like you, like, I have hundreds of people now, and it's actually helped me with getting better at the no's.
Yes.
Because I keep up with, like, okay, no, maybe to this call. No, okay, maybe cut and paste. Okay, yes, cut and paste. And then it's like, I've had so many people, the no's don't bother me.
Right.
But, you know, I think it helps, and then I can see it. It's a visual. So I know it looks like a lot for people who may not have started, but it's just as quick as, the only thing I had to watch was, like, when you're on the different social media platforms. So I'm mainly LinkedIn and Instagram, occasionally Facebook, for people who follow me for a long time. But I would, like, put their name, but then if I couldn't find the handle, because I was just doing it really quick. So now I'm kind of you where I'll put, you know, like, Dr. Wynn, LI, like LinkedIn. Right. But I think it makes it more real. And then I can show, like, okay, I've been sitting here for 30 minutes, but I've reached out to 15 people and I've followed up with 3.
Right.
So I think that's helpful.
I agree 100%. Like, I feel like it's a more tangible business that has movement and progress and follow-up and organization. I couldn't agree more. And I totally agree that if you're using more than one platform, when you really start hustling and you really start connecting with a lot of people, you better have a way to remember how you knew that person. Because I have people in there that say, like, I have like very interested so-and-so, and I can't find them. I cannot figure out where I connected with them. Was it LinkedIn? Was it Instagram? Was it Facebook? Was it at the hair salon? And so, yeah, their name is in there, but I've been connecting with so many people, I have no way of jogging my memory as to who they are, right? And so you make a really good point, Melva. And that's like, that's like the networker's problem who's really working with like a massive amount of people. When you're first getting started, it's probably not going to be a problem for you. But I think you make a good point, Melva, because it doesn't take too long if you're working on more than one platform that it can get really messy fast. For sure.
It gets messy. And like, just for anybody who's on the call who may already be in like an email system. So I've worked a long time, and I know some other people who are on the call have, but I think this is very different. Like with an email and an email system, it's not as quick. This is like your pin and vote that we're putting to mobile and computer.
Yes.
So I just think it's different, because I still think there's a reason to have email and email list onions and things like that. But at first, when I first watched the Asana video from the Cepedas, I was like, oh, I don't really need that because I'm, on another platform. But this is very different. This is like, I think, on the go, if that makes sense. Because I don't need to put, 100 people that said they'd watch a video that may never watch it into an email list, if that makes sense. So
right. Makes total sense. Yep. Well, and I love the app feature. So it's like, it truly is my peripheral brain. Like if I'm sitting in carpool or at swim or whatever, and I've got 5 or 10 minutes, I can go to LinkedIn, go through a couple of messages. And if people say they'll watch the video, then I don't record my prospects unless they actually agree to take action, like beyond the likes and the comments. But like, if I am proactively reaching out to someone and they've never said or communicated with me at all, if I send them a message, I'm not documenting that. That's just too much. I'm not going to put anything in until they respond back. So like if I'm on my phone and it's swim team and I pull up LinkedIn and somebody pops back and says, yeah, I'll take a look at your video. Well, then I can quickly send them the video, go to my Asana app, put their name in on my column for, they said they'd take a look, and set them up in my card, and then give them a 2-day follow-up date in my app, all within like 15 seconds. So I've sent them the video and I've organized them. They're already in my database now. And in 2 days, I'll get a reminder to follow up with that person. So to me, it's just efficiency. I can do it on the go, but then when I have my computer and I want to like legitimately like dive into it for an hour and a half, I can, but it doesn't mean I can't fire it off anywhere in the world at any point with my phone. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Any other questions?
Melissa, one more quick question.
Yeah.
Is the laptop like the real-time sync, right? You don't have to do anything like.
You don't have to save anything. They just sync unless you don't have internet. And then you'll have to wait until you have internet for it to sync.
And can you create an appointment on your, let's say, Google Calendar or whatever, like from Asana, or that's like a completely different platform?
That's a good question. I haven't tried that. I've just put like calendar notices in Asana, and I just go in like, what I try to do is twice a week, I try to do follow-ups. So I try to, whenever I'm putting in a new contact or I'm moving them to a different column, I try to stay within like Tuesdays and Thursdays for follow-up so that they all kind of populate at the same time throughout the week. This is probably way too much information for you guys. But otherwise, if I don't stick with like 2 different days of follow-up, then what happens in Asana is you're getting emails and notifications like every day that it's time to follow up with these people. And to me, I just like it being organized. Like Tuesdays is a follow-up day and Thursdays is a follow-up day. So when I pull up my Asana, I've got a huge chunk of work to do, and then I can clear it out. Obviously, I'm behind, but and you don't have to do it that way. You can be very specific for each person that you want to follow up on a different day. But I tend to like treat my weeks from like Monday to Friday. If I start on Monday, I'm either going to choose Tuesday or Thursday as my follow-up day, or the following week a Tuesday or a Thursday, just to keep it clean. But I don't know if you let us know if you can connect it to your calendar. Any others? All right. Well, hopefully this was helpful, guys. This is the thing I love about this business is you can do it however you want. Like, you don't have to do this. You can find a better way that works for you. I have just found that for, the first 3.5 years of doing this business, I was pulling my hair out trying to be organized. So to me, this is like, I finally got what I need. And for me personally, it's been really helpful. And I've gotten a lot of enrollments over the past couple of weeks. And I truly think it's just because I've been way more organized than I ever have been, and way more consistent in my follow-ups because my system's reminding me to do it. All right. Well, awesome, guys. I hope you have an awesome week. Who is running the calls this week? Jessica's kicking off tomorrow, and then Susan Miller's running the calls for the rest of the week. You guys, we love her. She's so professional. I highly recommend all your new people, and then your downlines new people, you need to remind them every morning this week. We have so many new people. I send text messages to my new people every single day with the get contact information. Dial in. Love for you to hear from Susan. She's amazing. Do it all week long. And, like with your new girl, Christine, you may want to remind her people. Like you want to remind your people to remind your people to remind your people, however far down your business goes with these new enrollments. And let these leaders help, fuel the fire. That's it for me. Hopefully I'll be able to sleep tonight. I'm just on fire. I'm just so freaking excited for you guys. I think you missed the opening of the call, Christine, but there's going to be so many 3-stars that pop that are like, I can see your names on my computer right now that are going to pop this year. And it's just, it's finally happening. And it just makes my heart just like explode. I'm so excited for you guys. All right. Good night. This girl's going to bed. I'll follow up with you guys on the orientation.
Congrats, Jen.
I'll follow up with you guys on the GET orientation. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.